Just wanted to make a quick product comparison between a couple of different styles, or I shouldn't say styles, maybe brands and models of hand wraps. I was never much of a hand wrap wearing person myself. I only recently started wearing hand wraps. My formative training was always with trying to harden the hand, in a sense, using things like rice bags, maca boards, to strengthen the hand, to build calluses on the knuckles, to learn how to punch correctly so that you're not breaking the hand when you need to actually use it and you don't have hand wraps by your side. So I never, and it made intuitive sense to me to train that way. So I never used hand wraps. I know that today in a lot of the martial arts gyms, hand wraps are just, absolutely considered basic and essential. But the way I grew up, we never had them, and I still don't use them very much up until recently, when in October, a couple of months ago, I broke my hand. Now, the way I broke my hand was doing a hammer fist on a hard metal bar, so it's not surprising that I broke my hand. In fact, it fractured in a couple of places on that fifth metacarpal. That's a whole nother story. But in any case, after breaking my hand, I had a splint that I was wearing for a little bit that I could train in somewhat, but it kept my fingers like this, or it kept my fingers like this, kind of weird, and so I couldn't make a fist or anything like that. Certainly couldn't use the hand very effectively, but it slowly healed up to the point where I could take off the at about 5 or 6 weeks I started taking off the splint, and I would just wrap my hand as a way to keep it still stabilized and stuff as I trained, and began training back with a fist again. At that time I was using the Everlast, like I know there's a number, I think the number is like 803 or something like this, I'm not sure, but these Everlast hand wraps is just the one that you can buy at any sporting goods store. You don't have to go to a specialized boxing or martial arts retailer or anything like that to find these. They're sold everywhere in all the sporting goods stores, these Everlast ones. And I was using this and I was fine with it, but I did notice that it just fit everything that I wanted to do. Like I would wrap it, a couple of wraps around my wrist, go over my thumb, go between each of my fingers, wrap a couple over the top, and then come down and connect the wrist with the Velcro, and it just made it to do that. And I was fine with it because I didn't know any better. But then early last week, my friend Alex, who I trained with, brought me these Hayabusa brand hand wraps as a Christmas present. And the first time I put this on, I knew this is a whole different kind of wrap. I mean, this is way, way better than the Everlast. It's got so much more length to it, a little bit more thickness to it. It's got more elasticity to it. I'm able to, wrap it around my wrist maybe 3 times, go around my thumb, go, between each of my fingers, wrap the top probably 4 or 5 times, and coming back down on the wrist. It's just it feels a lot stronger, and my hand feels a lot more protected in this wrap, and it feels like I've got a lot more play, because it does have just enough elasticity in the material to let my hand have a little bit more play than it felt like it had in the Everlast. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're gonna go and buy some hand wraps at your local sporting goods store, and you're I think he probably bought these at the Sport Check at the mall, because I've seen them there. Some sporting goods stores like Sport Check might carry these Hayabusa ones. If you're not in a big hurry and you want hand wraps, I'd recommend ordering them, I haven't checked out any other brands, so I don't know how the Hayabusa compared to the other ones, but between Everlast, if you're in a store and you're buying hand wraps and you got a selection, you got the Everlast ones there and you got the Hayabusa ones there, buy the Hayabusa. Hayabusa's way better wrap, way better. You won't be sorry. So that's my product comparison, and probably other guys out there have tried some other professional wraps that are way better than the Hayabusa too, but this is my world and my limited knowledge.